Well, good morning. Today we read from Matthew 20, a difficult parable, many people think. It says, "For the kingdom of heaven is like a master of the house who went out early in the morning to hire laborers for his vineyard. After agreeing with the laborers for a denarius a day, he sent them out into his vineyard. And going out about the third hour, he saw others standing idle in the marketplace, and he said to them, 'You go into the vineyard too, and whatever is right I will give you.' So they went. Going out again about the 6th hour and the 9th hour, he did the same. And about the 11th hour he went out and found others standing, and he said to them, 'Why do you stand here idle all day?' They said to him, 'Because no one has hired us.' And he said to them, 'You go into the vineyard too.' And when the evening came, the owner of the vineyard said to his foreman, 'Call the laborers and pay them their wages, beginning with the last up to the first.' And when those hired about the 11th hour came, each of them received a denarius. Now when those hired first came, they thought they would receive more, but each of them also received a denarius. And on receiving it, they grumbled at the master of the house, saying, 'These last worked only 1 hour, and you have made them equal to us, who have borne the burden of the day and the scorching heat.' But their master replied to them, 'Friend, I am doing you no wrong. Did you not agree to work for me for a denarius? Take what belongs to you and go. I choose to give to this last worker as I give to you. And am I not allowed to do what I choose with what belongs to me? Or do you begrudge my generosity? So the last will be first, and the first will be last.'" So this guy goes out and hires people at 6 a.m. to work all day for $20, which is what minimum wage, well, used to be anyway. So $20 a day. And then he goes out at 9 and at 12 and at 3 and at 5, and he hires more people. And every time he says, "I'll pay you at the end of the day." So 6 or 7 at night, he starts giving out money, and everybody gets $20. And the people who worked all day are kind of honked, because if the guy that worked an hour is getting $20, they figured they'd get 40 or more. And the guy says, "You agreed to this for $20, and that's what you're going to get. I get to choose what I do with what is mine." So this parable is really about God's grace. And God gives to everybody, whether they were there from the very beginning or whether they were there right at the last minute. It doesn't matter. God loves all of us, and God gives everybody grace the same way. And the first will be last, and the last will be first. And so grace is unexpected and different from what we normally think of, and it doesn't follow our rules. It's just a weird, different kind of thing. And if we can get our heads around that, we'll be better off, because we won't be trying to make God live up to our expectations, which aren't very high to begin with. So there you go. We won't be trying to get God to do what we want him to do, but we will be offering ourselves into God's way of doing things, which is always gracious and good, more than we can expect. So let's ponder that today, and that difficult parable, and tomorrow we'll move along. See you then.